Russia attacking Ukraine with more than 500 drones and 11 missiles overnight. Ukrainian authorities are saying at least 23 people were hurt and key infrastructure was damaged. This happening after President Trump spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin yesterday on the phone in hopes of securing a ceasefire. With no luck. Alex Hogan is live from London with more. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Julie. Russia carried out its largest aerial attack of the war, with scenes like this playing out overnight. The capital of Kyiv in Ukraine lit up red as Russia launched as many as 550 drones and missiles. Ukrainians across Kyiv spent the morning like this, crowded into shelters and subway stations, listening to the sounds of huge explosions overhead, with this all continuing for more than 8 hours. At least one person is dead, 26 people are injured, and more than a dozen are hospitalized. Russia carried out the waves of attacks hours after a phone call between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin released a statement saying that President Trump asked Putin for a ceasefire, but that the Russian president will, quote, not back down, something that President Trump addressed yesterday.
No, I didn't make any progress with him today at all.
As attacks only escalate, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky today held talks with President Trump, and Zelensky just released a statement saying that the pair discussed Russian airstrikes, opportunities in air defense, defense industry capabilities, and joint production. It comes after Washington paused shipments of military aid to Ukraine earlier this week. And the Kremlin also issuing a new statement today saying that it does not see a future path forward through diplomacy. There's been no set date for future negotiations. Julie.
Alex Hogan, thank you so much. Mike.
Julie, for more on this, let's bring in Doug Truax, founder and CEO of Restoration of America and a former U.S. Army captain. Doug, happy Independence Day. Welcome.
Hey, Mike. Great to see you. Happy Independence Day to you, too.
So President Trump sounds pretty down about the possibility that Vladimir Putin wants peace. Your assessment of that?
Well, I think the primary factor that has to go into getting to peace is that the president has that attitude. And I'm grateful for it. You know, look at what he's been through the last 6 months, the last 2 weeks, all the successes. We're all very happy for where our country is. But you can see this weighs on him very heavily. And he talks a lot about the lost lives, the soldiers dying. He just goes on and on. He's making the calls. He's having the conversations. It's frustrating. And no matter how ugly it looks at times, we just have to be grateful that he's in the place he's in, where he says, you know, it's in our national interest to try to end this as quickly as we can. It's in our national interest that we don't get involved. And so like in all things in combat, in war, it's a changing environment daily. And it was a difficult night last night, but it's changing all the time for both sides, and you have to have somebody willing to be somewhat in the middle of this to try to broker the peace as it moves along, and I'm grateful he's there in that spot.
To your point about last night, Russia pounding Ukraine, 539 drones, 11 missiles, focusing on Kyiv. We know President Trump spoke with President Zelensky this morning. We are awaiting a readout from the White House, but what about the Ukrainian side of the equation?
Yeah, well, that's really painful. I think that no matter what happens in terms of where we are today, we have to ask ourselves, how did we get here? I don't think it was a good idea ever for the Obama administration, the Biden administration, to put Ukraine out there as a possible member of NATO. That wasn't a good start. Biden practically invited the Russians to invade. So, you know, all these things, all these problems that a president inherits, they have a long tail on them, and he's trying to unwind it. And so I would say to the Ukrainians, just like President Trump is, we got to find a way out of this. And also, you know, our national interest is making sure we have a strong military, obviously, strategic reserves on our ammunition. And we have been giving them a lot. And it's a dangerous world. And we've got to find a way out of this. They have to find a way out of this. It's not on us day to day. It's on them. But like I said, things change on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of this comes down to their will to keep fighting. And will they, you know, Putin seems pretty willful right now. The Ukrainians do too, but things change over time. It's not our fight, but it's our part in the world to try to help them find a way out of this.
Then there's the conflict in the Middle East. President Trump says we should know pretty shortly whether Hamas is serious about a ceasefire deal. He's called it a final proposal for a ceasefire. Are you hopeful, Doug?
Yes, very hopeful. Again, this is about negotiations. You think about the Abraham Accords and everything President Trump did previously. And then now, obviously, what we just did in Iran, we should all be very grateful for our military and the strength there. And as you go forward and you have the ability to show the world that, number one, we have a very strong economy, and I think it's about to really take off. That's totally true. We're doing much better. And a very strong military. We have some issues there, but we're getting there. I think that helps in the Middle East, where people are saying, you know what, we need to listen. We need to listen carefully. We need to come along. Nobody wants the situation. I mean, Hamas has been propped up by the Iranians. It's all connected. I think now is the time to keep pushing and use every bit of leverage we have. And again, be thankful that we have a strong economy, a strong military, and a president that's willing to push for this.
Doug Tarax, thanks for your service. Enjoy your Independence Day.
Same to you, Mike. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.